in hell, wouldn't it? Hell, he got more than one wife and they all broke. I mean, he might be all right with one broke rib, but it's going to hurt. He going to go through some pain. He going to suffer. But now you get 2 or 3, and you let them be on different sides. One on this side, one on the other side. You might as well lay still in the body cast and put the catheter in there. Read on, please.
If the mother is of a divine spirit, ultimately the child will possess a portion of their divine presence.
If the mother is of a divine spirit, where she loves the Creator, where she works in harmony with her man to learn more about the Creator, not against her husband and say, I'm going to learn about the Creator my way, but she works with her husband to learn the divineness of the Creator. That child will ultimately be of the same type of spirit. We don't know that. We don't even pay attention to that type of stuff. That's why today we got so many toe-up spirits in the family. That's why the family structure is no good. Read on, please.
In turn, if the mother or teacher of the child possesses an evil presence, that evil presence will oftentimes will be joined with the evil presence of the world and be born within the child's character, thereby producing an unholy child. This is called being. If greatness is to return to Israel, and it will, a large part of this return is through the mind of the Israelite woman.
Through the mind of the Israelite woman. I want everyone, the whole world to know that I said that. It ain't going to be no man. It's going to be a strong woman. Not strong, but many strong women that's going to make these things happen. That's going to bring about the changes that we need to make this thing turn around and head in a different direction. Men, we have a great responsibility. We have to be strong to support them in their fields and in their jobs and all that they have to do. But the problem is they have the desire to do it.
She must guard her mind as she would guard the life of her child.
She must do what?
Guard her mind.
She must guard what?
Her mind.
She must what?
Guard her mind.
She must. Because if she doesn't, the world got something for her. They got something for her. And then the problem is she don't even realize. Let me tell you about this. Let me step back for a moment, please. When your mind is not guarded, you begin to desire things that is unlike what you should be desiring. Because you'll hear something over there and don't even pay attention or realize that you heard it. Subconsciously, it affects you in your life. Oh man, I want to do this. I want to do this to myself. Well, I want to go ahead in this place at such and such a time. You don't even understand why you feel that. All of a sudden, out of that clear blue, you done lived 45 years. And all of a sudden, this fresh new idea will come into your mind. Oh, I want to experience this. I want to try this. I want to know what this is like. Where do you think it's coming from? It's because you didn't guard your mind. Didn't guard your mind. And the adversary got something for you. This war that we're in right now, y'all know what kind of war is it? It's a spiritual war. What is the mind? What is spiritual device? It's like an antenna. You know what I'm saying? And it's up in the air. And if the right kind of signal comes across that antenna, it's going to pick it up, ain't it? But if you shield that antenna, any signal it want can come up against it, but it's only going to hit the right kind of signal that's supposed to come to it. Guard your mind. Guard it with your life. A woman is supposed to guard her mind just like she would her child from the adversary.
She must be crucially selective in her association with others. She must carefully scrutinize her conversation and be careful of her physical appearance by always reflecting righteousness and modesty in every part of her life.
There you go. Stop for a minute. Hold. What's modest about a pair of pants for a woman? Now, I know a lot of y'all will disagree, but so what? I'm telling the truth. Righteousness is what it's about. What's modest about a pair of pants for a woman? Now, women, let's be honest. Pull a pair of sweatpants. How do you feel? Somebody tell me. Comfortable. That's right. Relax. Cool. You know, you feel athletic. Right. Put on a pair of tight jeans. How you feel? All right. You feel sexy. Yeah, tight ain't right unless they tight. Tight ain't right unless they tight. Come on now. Let's be real. Put them on. Kind of grease down a little bit, put some lotion all up on it, and then jump up in them joints. Get on them. You like this fall, I almost fell. You like this fall, trying to get them joints on. But they ain't right unless they tight. Yeah, that's right. And then after you get them tight jeans on, what's the purpose of having on the tight jeans? You ain't gonna have a shirt to match. What you gonna put on tight jeans and then put a guard top on for? You gotta show off. You gotta pull the jeans out so the world can see that you handle them. You know? I don't know if you understand what it is that I'm saying. See, it's a spirit that possesses a woman. Because of the society in which she grew up, that spirit contaminates her. And it takes some virtue from her. She doesn't understand it. She wants to be like everybody else in Babylon. And she don't realize she ain't from Babylon. Babylon sits over here. You're supposed to be from the holies of holies. You understand? The history of pants was made for Chinese women. Pants was first made for women in China. They had the little short pants. They wore them because of their menstrual cycle and other things that would take place. The pants was first made for women, Chinese women. But the problem is, we ain't Chinese. Anybody here take Chinese? We're not Chinese. So why we want to say, okay, they was made for women first, and that means I got the right to wear them? Are you Chinese? Because I know a lot of people on this earth, that certain things are indigenous to their culture. Certain things belong to their culture that we cannot incorporate in our culture because we worship the Creator. So just to say that I'm a priest, that don't mean that you can do what the priests of Buddha do. That's right. You understand? So to say that I'm a woman so I can wear them pants with Chinese women, well, no, that doesn't mean that. That's not what it means. If you read in the scriptures, for the Hebrew Israelites, the first one that wore pants was the priest. Priest, not a woman. Priest. Right. So Israelite sisters, you're not supposed to wear those pants. They take you totally out of your character. You know you feel a little bit more macho when you put pants on. A dress just shut all the macho down. A dress just brings back, I don't care how butch a woman is. She can be butchered in Butch Cassidy. She can be butchered in Butch Cassidy. The moment she puts on a dress and get her hair done, so what they're trying to tell you? Put them up! Get rid of them, cut them up, destroy them, burn them. And young men, it's going to be your responsibilities, and men, it's going to be your responsibilities. And every time you see your woman with their pants on, you say, baby, 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 you look stronger than me. Yeah, that's how you do it. Don't knock upside the head because she got the people there. People come. Anytime people come, they got something new. Don't knock upside the head because that wouldn't be a righteous move, And don't knock upside because you might not get through to her. So you just look up gently in her face and say, baby, you want to wrestle? I mean, what you want to get on the floor? You want to wrestle or something? You want to arm wrestle? You want to do some karate and see who the best, who the strongest? What do you want to do? Understand what it is that I'm trying to say to you, family. As the writer of the article said, women have to excel at their job, and the men have to excel at their job. And the Creator says that thou shalt not wear that which pertains to the opposite sex. So what is it to do? Read it.
From the things she eat, the clothes she wears.
Back up so we can find what you're talking about.
She must be crucially selective in her association with others. She must care for...
Oh, stop right there. I know I asked you back up for a reason. I tell you, the Creator be talking today. She has to be crucially selective in those that she has her conversations with and whose company she's in. Remember, it's a whole lot involved in just her. Because if she falls, everything falls out of order. Oh, I got it. Look, man, these kids, man. God! Kids! Yeah. I don't want to work no more. I don't want to work. I don't feel like I want to work. You know what? She got the right to say she don't want to work no more. She can do that now. I'll give it to you, woman. You can say that, my sister. If you don't want to work no more, just say you don't want to work no more. You ain't never going to work as long as you got a man. That's it. You better have a husband if you got a man. Because you ain't got no man, you ain't got no husband, and you got to be a man to be a husband, you got to be a husband to be a man. In your life as a Hebrew woman, she got the right to say that. But you got to be careful who you got in your circle, because when you got certain people in your circle, man, let me tell you, the girlfriend's got to, especially unrighteous girlfriend, she got to wait to get through to you. I'm telling you, when she's prone toward evil, when she got evil in her spirit, evil in her mind, oh, and she looks at your life and here is you married and feeling good and happy, she don't like that. She will slow walk in 2 or 3 years, 4 or 5 years, just to get up in there so that one day you say, I'm leaving him. The first thing you say about him is over. She right, oh, yeah, opportunity. She see that opportunity. As soon as you say, that nigga came home late. The phone gets silent. He came home 5 minutes late. Where do you think he was at, girl? She might not even be real forceful and say, he out messing around. Where do you think he was at? Where do you think he was going? Get that mind moving. Instead of having a supportive woman. Instead of having a girlfriend in righteousness, a girlfriend in the Creator, a girlfriend in truth. You know, somebody to say, girl, he probably did a little bit of overtime or got a flat tire. Probably broke down a little bit. You know, she's supposed to coach you and keep you in righteousness so that your mind don't become sick with that virus. And the first thing takes place is all destruction takes place in your house. And then you be wondering why, slowly but surely, 2-3 weeks later, you talking about, what you doing? You start checking his pockets when you go to sleep. Or when he leaves his cell phone, you check it around the corner, make sure he ain't coming, because you're going to check the last calls that he made on his cell phone. Write down numbers. Calling these numbers back. No. You don't realize that that's a sickness. This man loves you. This man takes care of his family. He goes out every day and go to work from morning to night, but he doesn't have the opportunity to live righteous because every time he brings something righteous to you, you're knocking it down. Like it's just a front, like it's a camouflage. Don't allow them girls to get up in your money. Believing them girlfriends won't do it. So she has to be very careful about who she has in her circle. Very careful. And don't allow your emotions to get in the way, my sister, because she's been your friend for 15 years. They evil too. If she ain't here worshiping the Creator with you, or in another place like this, worshiping the Creator, be suspect. Your mother, your sister, your mother-in-law, your aunt, your uncle, even your brother, watch them. Because it don't want nothing good for you. Because you got to realize, their mind is of Babylon. Not of the Creator. Well, how could you be with this man and this man got all these other women? Wait a minute. Open the Bible up. Did the Creator say that a man can have more than one wife? Did he say it? Then if he said it, then why am I going to fight against it? If anything, you should try to be helping my life be a little bit easier because I'm in this situation. But instead, you want to see me out of this situation so when I can be a man, I can be with a man that's going to have all of them and I don't know nothing about it. And bring me home all types of diseases, because he will be screwing everybody and anything anyway. So what's the difference? I can't understand this. You know what I can't understand about this? And I'm sorry that I've taken you so far off. But let's look at the reality of this situation. It's not going to be long. Do you realize that women outweigh men 9 to 1 in the United States? 9 to 1. Do you realize that over 55% of black men are incarcerated today? So that means how many women? See, that even makes it, that's what supports it, 9 to 1. Because 55% of us are gone. Statistics might be a little bit higher, because that was what, 2004 estimates, I believe, 2005? 55% gone. Which makes our women a whole lot of broken families. Now, we got so many broken families. How do you think we can work to repair that? Now, if we got only 10% of men, if each one of those 10% of that men took on more than one wife as a man and did his job as a father to all those little boys and little girls who don't have a daddy or whose daddy's incarcerated, how much more of a condition, a better condition, do you think we would be in? But the government who created this situation says that a man can't have more than one wife. And if you do, you go to jail for dinner. I'm not talking about nobody sleeping. Because they won't stink anyway. I know you think you got your man all to yourself. Y'all just got married on the honeymoon. Where was he at the night before the honeymoon? He was at a what? What was that all about? What was that all about? You understand? We think that we doing something because he come home to me 2-3 nights a week. And he ain't got no other woman. He got to work on overtime. And when he get paid, you don't even see his paycheck. You get a portion of it. Listen, I come from a house, man. I'm serious. I come from a household with my mother. She had a husband. His name was Vernon Hughes. I remember. Vernon Hughes is a matter of fact, the man before that too, James Posey. She was married to Vernon Hughes. James Posey was my little brother's daddy. He was just dead. Them jokers was another, they were victims of society at that time. Victim of society. And the thing out there at that time was liquor. Yes. Them niggas would come out, I call them niggas because that's what they were. Niggas is a state of being in the mind. Them niggas would come home to the door after payday. When they came home, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, banging on the door. Weezy! Let me in. Weezy downstairs, fussing, hollering, screaming. Where the paycheck at? I got robbed. I'm serious. Every payday, he getting robbed, coming home 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and drunk. And drunk every payday. Not sometime, all the time. And we sitting here with no food in the refrigerator. I hand me to the creator. What I'm telling y'all is the truth. That's how I grew up. I stand in my banister, look over the banister with the electric. We had electric because we was wiring the house from the house next door with an extension cord. We had water because I used to take the empty milk containers, we should save them up, so I can go next door to Miss Bell's house, next door, and get some water from Miss Bell. I'm serious. In the wintertime, we all slept in one bed. My kids today got each of them got their own room. And they don't even appreciate it. Because they don't know what it's like not to have it. You understand? I know what it's like because I've been there. 5 and 6 of us in one bed with mommy and daddy. And you know most daddies got stinky feet. And you know you're at the bottom of the bed with feet at. That is not a comfortable place to be. That's right. But I grew up like that. I look over the banister and I used to watch rats run around in my kitchen. I used to wonder why the rats was there because they ain't got no food. Why there? Ain't no crumbs on the floor. Why they there? Couldn't figure it out. But daddy, because the government had waged war against the black man in the early 60s and 70s and 80s, and still are successful today, daddy was drunk. Before crack came out, they were drunk. Now today they on crack, but when they was drunk, they wasn't handling their responsibilities. You go there. I think I got the message across. And this is the last little thing I'm going to say. I used to wear my shoes so long that this part of the shoe had a big hole in my sock, because I had on my daddy's socks, my father-in-law socks. My real daddy wasn't there. I say it again. My real daddy wasn't there. So the alcoholic daddy that I had, I used to have to wear his socks. And I take his socks. And I was in the 3rd grade. He a grown man. What that saying about the size of his feet? I had to take his socks and put his socks in my shoes and turn them over like that and have an extra cushion. And have an extra cushion in the bottom of my shoe, right? But then, now I'm in school with all the other kids, right? And we, kids and we got recess. We play. Y'all know how y'all run. And man, little kids got a lift. God, look at that. Hey man, your tongue hanging out your shoe. The hole that I had in my shoe, the sock from moving around would came out the hole. But you didn't know it because it felt like it was still cushion under your feet. The bottom of the sock was hanging out the hole, just dabbling. And little kids were teasing me. That's how I grew up. That's how I grew up. So I'm thankful what the Father has done. I got shoes on there with no holes. Hallelujah! My children got shoes on with no holes. Now today, the mothers are so used and spoiled, man, they got them shoes all scuffed up on the top. Baby, when I was little, I didn't get a new pair of shoes, they got holes in them. And the socks got holes in them from running around. Now today, you see, and baby, look, we used to do shoes for the kids because they scuffed up. When I was little, when your shoes got stuffed up, you went and got some of that shoe polish, and that's right, and you squeeze the shoe polish and rub it all around the white shoes. Now today, you get a couple of scratches and they don't want shoes no more. I can't understand it. I can't understand it. Time is hard today. And now they're talking about me going back into another form of recession. What do you think is going to happen now? And then they got the nerve to go to school and want to act up. Hard as times is. Can't even bring you home straight D's. They got to bring you D's and F's and E's and tell you, I don't know what the problem is. I'm going to show you what the answer is. Nigga, you ain't get no more shoes. Make him walk around with his tongue hanging out. He'll straighten right up. You know what I mean? Stop buying her the best of all them clothes, and every time she want to get her hair done, stop it. You're spoiling, you're destroying the children. See, that's the job of a mother. A mother used to be on point. My mother used to make me suffer when I did bad. Boy, you let a teacher call home to me. A teacher call home to me, I got a beating from the teacher, and I got a beating when I get home. Not today. Not today. Man, let me tell you. You go ahead on, but I'm going to tell you, ain't nothing like having a good mother. When you got a mother that's doing her job as a mother, ain't nothing wrong. Even when daddy falls short, a good mother take care of you right there. Daddy falls short, he can't do it because his mind is all messed up because they got that drug for daddy. He gone somewhere, busting his hand beside a wall somewhere, trying to sex somebody because he drunk. A good mama will be there for you. She know how to be a mama and a daddy without becoming masculine, without stepping outside of her femininity and still wearing the skirt down to the ground, looking like a woman. I'm going to tell you what that means because I come from it. I know what that means. If they set their mind to it, they can change the world. Nobody can tell me what to do. But they got to want to do it. They got to want to do it. Then you got to be strong and supportive to make them want to do it. We don't see me get past the second page now.
And be careful of her physical appearance by always reflecting righteousness and modesty in every part of her life.
She must always reflect righteousness and modesty. When she reflects anything outside of that, her whole character just changes. She doesn't deserve the respect anymore. When she becomes masculine and she becomes violent, she's not like a woman anymore. It's not like a woman to become that way. It's not like a woman to be aggressive and want to destroy and kill and rob and steal. Usually, that's a man's crime. Read on, please.
From the things she eats, the clothes she wears, the way she does her hair, or even the type of employment she may have.
Even her job must reflect the femininity in her. Even her, if she works, because you know women, y'all don't have to work. I'm going to tell y'all, man, I say it that way. Y'all don't have to work with it. Because if y'all household suffer, you still ain't got to work. He got to go get another job. That's the truth. Don't tell the men, since they hardly too many men in the room today, they don't know how to say it. But don't tell the men that I told y'all, all right? But it's the truth. It's the law. Throw the law back in his face. I ain't got to work. The Creator said you got to provide for me. Stick your tongue out, keep on moving. You know, please. Look at Kyrie's face. Hold on, look at Kyrie's face. Go ahead, sister.
Even how she speaks or begins to speak.
Even how, she has to even be mindful of how she speaks and when she begins to speak and the proper way in which she begins her speech. She has to be mindful. Everything about a queen is watched. And when you walk around professing to be an Israelite, you become watched. I ain't talking about the kind of watch where you got on tight jeans and do. I ain't talking about that kind of watch. I ain't talking about the kind of watch where a lot of people want the attention, the seekers, the attention getters, and those who desire the unrighteous eyes upon them. I'm not talking about that type of watch where you got to wear your clothes 3 times too small just so that your stomach can hang out. Well, let's say, come on, I don't get off track.
She must be willing to sacrifice having fun constantly and avoid being misguided from her importance in life.
Say that again. She must be willing to sacrifice what?
She must be willing to sacrifice having fun constantly and avoid being misguided from her importance in life. When a child lives like a child, or when one becomes a parent or an adult, responsibility changes and life must be altered to meet these responsibilities.
When you're a child, live like a child. But when you become an adult or a parent, responsibility changes. So your life should change so that you can meet these demands of this responsibility. The problem with today is that we have too many children raising children. We don't know when to put down the childhood thing. And you've been having children since you were 14 years old. And now you want to say, I want to go have some fun. You gave up that when you started laying down. You gave it up. You no longer earn it right. It's over. Because once you become a parent, you have to put aside childish ideals and you have to take on and reflect a lifestyle that has demand on your life, especially when you become a wife. When you were single, you lived as a single woman. But when you became a wife, your life no longer belonged to you. It's us. And I like to use this portion here. The Creator said in the scriptures, when a man and a woman become one, married, joined together, they become one substance. One substance. The word that they use in the scriptures in the Hebrew is basar. They use the word they translated as flesh. But basar also means substance. The two of them become one substance. That means that I could be over here feeling a certain kind of way, and you feel me all the way over here. Anybody tell me if that's true or not? I could be thinking something right here, and you all at work, 15 miles away. Call me on the phone, baby. How about that roast pork chop you wanted last night? Roast pork chop. You know? It's like that. Because the two of you are one substance. But now the problem is, when she's your substance, and she's trying to get outside entities to turn against you. She don't realize that she got the forces to be working against herself. She thinks there's a separation because of the flesh, but there's not. There is no separation unless you get a bill in your hand and you make a separation. If you make the separation, then it can be a separation. But as long as you are called by my name, you belong to me. As long as you are my wife, there is no separation. It is one substance. And that's what you have to understand. But a woman of a good character, of a good nature, and of holiness and of righteousness, she understands that already. We don't have to have that conversation. She knows her place. She's a beautiful creature. She's pleasant. And sometimes, family, what I want to say before I get off this portion, don't let nobody outside of your family deter you from your family. If you leave your man or you want to leave your man, let it because your man violated the laws of the Creator. Let it be because he violated the laws of Yah. Don't let it be because y'all used to have a whole lot of money, now you ain't got no money, and times are hard. Don't let it be because of that. Let it be because he began to violate the laws of the Most High King. Then your argument is justified. Then you have a case.
That's right.
He ain't making no money no more. He can't buy me what I'm used to getting. Man, listen, I want to go get my nails rose garden every day. Every day. Sometimes it might not even be every week. It might not be every month. It might be once every 6 months. If it's like that, you have to understand that I'm in this forever. And it's like that. Don't wait till we run out of cash and decide how to go. Because I know the dude around the corner, he dope dealer, he getting there, his money's still flowing. I can go hook up with Jimmy around the corner, and Jimmy been looking at me in them tight jeans for a long time. That's the reality of where we live. And for y'all mothers, and all y'all brothers and y'all children, that you allow your children to dress this way, you are held accountable.
That's right.
You are held accountable.
That's right.
Because you're supposed to teach your children in a way in which they should grow. And then when they get old enough, they will not depart from the ways of the Father. But you let your children make up their own mind. And they ain't got no Father in them. Because they never had no Father in them. Because their parents let them do what the devil told them to do. And we don't understand that. You think that's the Creator telling your daughter to put them tight shorts on? You think that's the Creator telling your daughter to wear the, what's the things called? Halter tops? You think that's the Creator telling your daughter to put them tight shirts on? With no bra? See through? And walking in the rain? My hands be to the Creator. I see a young lady walking down the street with a see-through shirt, no bra, as if it was nothing to it. That's how far we've fallen in our minds. I seen an 8-year-old girl. She had to be at least 8 years old. She had on them pants with the no waist, the hip huggers with no waist, with a shirt that came over her head with a navel joint. Had to be at least 8. What do you think her mind, her parents was reflecting onto her? I don't care if she was 28, she still was out of order. But today, that's sexy. I want to look sexy. Why? So you can get raped? Why you want to look sexy on the street? So you can get raped? So you can make a man go to jail? So you can commit a man's mind to fall to fallacy? So he can do evil? Why you don't want to look sexy? You want to look sexy? Go home and look sexy. I'm telling you, boy, I was wanting to come home and see my wife all laid back. You know what I mean? I love to come home. Man, listen. Man, what's up, baby? What's up, baby? Hey. You know? But instead, when the average black man come home, he get this. You ain't doing it. You doing it. And when you going to do it, and your trash need to be taken out. Damn, man. Young lady, put the camera down, please. That's what the problem is. They want to go look good for the world, but don't want to go look good for the one that they're supposed to look good for. They want to, hey, let me tell you, this is last, and then we're going to get back. Family, you know it's a problem when she get all dressed up and look good to go to work. To go to work. But when she come home, she's spending extra time in the mirror. Wait a minute. Extra time in the mirror. The night before she go to work, clothes behind her. She's singing. Ask her to iron something of yours, you got a problem. Baby, can you iron my pants for me? Yeah, iron your own clothes. I gotta iron your clothes. I ain't been ironing them. That's the good one right there. Now, see, they ain't smiling. That was down for me, and now I ain't good iron them. Iron yourself. She ironed the clothes all up, the ones that she ain't getting pressed out of the cleaners. Spend 2 or 3 hours getting ready in the morning. She ain't got to leave the house at 7 o'clock to go to work. She up at 6. Take her 5 minutes to get down the street. She up at 6. Getting all looking all good. Gotta take 2 baths. She leave the house smelling like a bunch of roses. Come home smelling like musk. And she don't learn showing that to you. She don't learn having a messing up hair for you. But for the world, she gets on her best behavior. She got to look good. See, that's the difference between me and them. I look like this all the time. I look rough all the time. I ain't trying to impress nobody but my Lord.
That's right.
You understand? But there are some things that they talk to me about that I work with, you know. I try to make them happy, try to keep them smiling. Try to look at email over there talking about, no, I can tell you. Yeah. I can tell them about some stuff, and I know everybody got their faults. But the difference between a fault and a sin is that a sin is a sin.
That's right.
Sin is something totally different than a fault. Unless your fault becomes sin. And then your sin and your fault is the same thing. But if it's just a shortcoming that you got in your life, in your relationship with your lover, your mate, y'all can always talk about that. And work it out. It ain't always got to be about no separation. It ain't always got to be about, man, I can't understand the woman that get mad and that marriage lasts for 6 months. What in the world? She married to a man and get mad at him and be mad for 6 months. What in the world is that? I was always taught that if you're mad, make up before you go to sleep.
That's right.
But in this situation, 6 months is like overnight. I can go home here and be mad at you. I don't care. What kind of stuff is that? A whole year with the love of your life. Now, can you imagine when it comes time to make whoopee? She happy during that time. Next morning, attitude again. That's ridiculous. 6 months it lasts for 6 months. Sometimes 7. You know why? Because she didn't guard her mind.
Teach.
The righteousness was not allowed to enter in.
Teach.
But the adversarial forces, because of them, she didn't got to hold a conversation with somebody. She can just be in that place. And that spirit can be in the air. And that spirit will try to creep in upon you. That's why you got to be careful where you act, where you go, who you talk to. You don't even know somebody can run up next to you and transfer that spirit right up there. And you don't even realize. Ooh, I feel like you can. How many dollars actually happened with you? Let's be honest. How many times some of you just been somewhere and all of a sudden you feel like eating something that you know you weren't supposed to eat? Chances are it could have came from something like that. And you don't know. You have no control of it. Well, Yakara, I know you've been standing for so long, so please.
The public school system was a
Ain't this God's good? It's so enlightening. We're going to get back to the lesson.
The public school system was a wise invention, but what it did was it took children away from the home and natural environment for an extensive amount of time.
The public school system was a wise invention, but what it did was it took holy children away from holiness for an extensive amount of time. And that caused other things to enter into the minds of our children. They become just like the children in Babylon.
Which would be acceptable if the place of learning was also the same divine spirit. If many mothers were to form a learning institution with righteousness as the principal agenda, this would be very rewarding and productive for the nation. The world has declared war on the Israelite nation by destroying the mind of a woman from its original condition. Many women are now looking forward to inferring the workforce outside of the immediate nation, and once out there, and the mind is altered, and new ideals and desires come to mind.
Let me say what the intentions of the reader. What he is saying is that instead of a woman that wants to work, looking for ways that she can work to help within a nation to raise raise the nation up so the nation of Israel can rise. She looks for work or employment outside of what she can do to help this nation. And if you think about it, if you keep taking away from yourself, eventually you're going to have nothing else to give. If the nation continues to work on working outside of structuring the nation, we won't have anything within ourselves to be held accountable for. What I mean is we don't have no schools. That's the first important thing. How many of our brothers and sisters work in the educational field as teachers and substitute teachers and all those types of things? We don't have no one to take care of our elderly. No one. Now, there's programs where they're going to pay you to take care of the elderly, but let's do it in righteousness. We need to establish these things where our people can learn to work for ourselves, where it will benefit us. That ain't what we focus our goals on. We focus our goals on everything outside of us. How about if when you woke up in the morning, you went down the street and watched the old man, but you didn't watch yourself? How about when you got up in the morning after you didn't wash yourself, you didn't feed yourself, and you went down the street and you fed that old man? Now, if you multiply that by 5, just 5 days a week, how do you think you will feel at the end of that week? Now, how long do you think you can live by doing that? Taking care of everybody else and never feeding yourself, never washing yourself, never taking care of the responsibility of self, because that's how we've been to the nation of Israel. We don't do anything to uplift Israel, but we do everything for everybody else to get wealth, to gain glory, satisfaction, but we do nothing for the nation. And we're busy looking for employment outside of what we can do for the house of Israel. Meanwhile, that weakens us as a people. What I say is, I say go to those schools, get all the education you can get, and then find a way to make it work for the nation. And if you feel like, well, the nation, it ain't much I can do right now for the nation, then take some of that paycheck that you get and donate some of that paycheck to the nation. And then that can be your way of giving it back to the nation. But we get our paychecks, and our paychecks go on our house, it go on other people, it go on other things to bring us pleasure. And we forget the nation. Oh, Prince gonna take care of that. Oh, brother, sister,